Hi, it's Jackie. I'm doing a video vlog about what I'm doing this weekend. I'm making peach bread. Here's my peaches. I've had these peaches for about a week. I bought them last week, and they've been sitting there. And I ate one or two, and I thought, what am I going to do? Because I live alone. I'm living alone here in my apartment with my sister in the next town. So, when I bought it, I thought, what am I going to do with it? And when Beth Silver Scream Girl said, what are you doing this weekend? I thought, now is the time to do it. So I looked through my cookbook, and I found something to cook with all these peaches. All these peaches. They weren't expensive. They're from Ontario. Pre-stone. So that's a good bunch of peaches. Couple of liters, I don't know what they call it, basket. Now I have a book here, a recipe. I thought maybe I'll make peach bread, peach loaf, and then I Googled and I couldn't find any good recipes, so I looked in my cookbook. And here I have a good recipe for Georgia peach bread. So that's what I'm going to do. And now this is a good, I've shown this book before, my cookbook. Where is it? Okay, here it says Celebrate Banned Books Week, September. It says Banned Books Week, a week designed to celebrate books that groups or individuals have tried to ban over the years, has been observed in the United States every September since 1982. While most would-be book banners have been unsuccessful, their intentions are troubling. These challengers aim to completely remove various books from school and public libraries. I can't comprehend why residents of a country that celebrates freedom of expression would want to ban a book from the public. In the face of such threat, most librarians simply adhere to the American Library Association's Library Bill of Rights, which asserts that librarians and governing bodies should maintain that parents, and only parents, have the right and the responsibility to restrict the access of their children, and only their children, to library resources. According to a study found on the American Library Association's website, based on information compiled by the Office for Intellectual Freedom between 1990 and 2000, the books that have been most challenged contain sexually explicit material, closely followed by books that contain offensive language. If you want your teenager to put down the remote and pick up some literature, just tell him that he can't read a certain book because of its sexual content and offensive language. You'll have a reader on your hands in no time. For this chapter's selections, I've chosen 4 titles from the list of the top 20 most challenged books of 1990s to 2000. So let's be rebels, don our leather jackets, and set off to read some books that some people find so offensive. They not only don't want their teenagers to read them, but they don't want us to read them either. The color purple. Coming in at number 18 on the top 20 list of most challenged books is a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel about an African-American woman and the self-realization that she reaches after years of neglect and abuse. The chief objections to this book have been its violence, sexual themes, and offensive language, all elements that are, in my opinion, vital to the book's setting and plot. Walker does an amazing job keeping the novel incredibly realistic, especially the main character Sally's dialect. Best of all, despite the hardships each character faces, Walker blesses them all with happiness in the end. We have all that. Oh, I'm pure. This sounds like a good recipe. I used to make something like this when I was young, living at home with my parents. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn ranks 5th on the list of most challenged books. It's been challenged repeatedly since its debut in 1884, and it's namely targeted for what opponents label racism and offensive language. While I'll admit that this book does use racial slurs that are offensive to the modern ear, if parents and/or community leaders are worried about what it will teach impressionable young readers, I recommend that they view the book as an opportunity to teach the lesson that it's offensive and hurtful to use the words and names that we see in Huckleberry Finn. The book is such a piece of Americana that it would be a shame to see it banned from school reading lists, and thereby allow the sensitive issue of racism to go undiscussed. Ernest Hemingway called Huckleberry Finn the best book we've had, and he also said, all modern American literature comes from this book. Twain not only inspired Hemingway, but also such classic American writers as William Faulkner, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and J.D. Salinger. His folksy voice and realistic descriptions of the sounds and smells of the mighty Mississippi should be known not just for their controversy, but for the way they influence the course of American literature. Catcher in the Rye. So that's my book and my cooking for this weekend. Have a good day, everyone. Take care.